Hello everybody, I'm on a roll, so I'm recording another video. So this was recorded, I think, about an hour. Sorry, there's just like this thing on the back and I scratched it with the back of my nail. Sorry. Anyways, I'm recording this the same day that I created my Eras Tour outfit ranking. And today, this is going to be an extremely overdue video, considering that that this happened in December and early December, and it is literally April tomorrow when I record this, and it probably will be April when this is live. So yeah, there's that. And this is going to be my experience with the Björk concert that I went to, plus my review of it. So, yeah, without further ado, because I've got a lot to talk about, I'm going to be going through the entire history, and, yeah, so let's get into it. So, first of all, I'm going to talk about when I became a Björk fan. So, like a lot of artists that I've gotten into, I got inspired by the Björk Deep Discog Dive. I had tried to get into a discography before. For instance, a lot of people were recommending me to her on this channel, and I tried to give Utopia a listen, but I couldn't finish it. Not until years after. And I'd also listened to a portion of Possibly Maybe, which I quite enjoyed actually. I also listened to Lion Song, which I didn't care for. I'm ashamed of myself. So yeah, and but yeah, I really started to become a fan in early 2021. I think it was February, March. Because, she was an artist that I was very interested in, but never got the motivation to actually sit down and go through her discography and listen to her. So, yeah, I fell in love with her work. And by the summer, I was a massive Björk stan. I had joined the Björk Discord server. Because I tried to make my own without realising that there was already one. And you know what, I thank that, because that is where I found all of my online friends, because they were all in the server, but I didn't really know them. And the owner of a Discord server messaged me saying, "Do you want to join my server?" And I said yes. Her name is Mew. Hi Mew, I know you're watching this because you're like my #1 fan. And yeah, I became one of the more active members, and then when that got deleted recently, I'm currently in the process of making my own Discord server. I'll post the link when we're opening it up to the public. So yeah, me and Mew are owners, and somebody else called Metafungi. Yeah, shout out to you if you're watching this. I know you're probably not, but hi. And yeah, so there's that. And what happened is, during, I think it was June, I was like, I noticed that Björk was going on tour later in the year. It was the final leg of Cornucopia. So I tried to get my stepdad to take me to the Paris show, but sadly we couldn't. And so, yes, sadly we couldn't make it. But so I started going total absolute delulu. And I went to my grandparents, and they said, we talked about going to the Nantes show on December 2nd. And I went total delulu, jumped to the conclusion that we were going, yeah. And then my grandparents said, "We talked about this, we're not actually going, we can't go." Yeah, or so I thought. The lying rats. Just kidding. Nana and Bamber, if you're watching this, I love you. Thank you for taking me. I'm not being serious here. Yeah, warning. My family knows about this channel and they watch it fairly regularly, so they. And yeah, they sorted it out behind the scenes, behind my back, um, in while I was away on holiday with dad, my dad's side of the family, and so yeah, they sorted that out. And the day I came back, we went on FaceTime with me, and they sent me a message saying that I was going to Cornucopia on December the 2nd. So I was lost for words. I was so excited. I genuinely could not wait, and I didn't think I'd be able to wait like 4 months it was for that. I was like, I can't do that. I can't. That is just no. I can't do that. I can't wait that long. But eventually the weeks and weeks went by, and it only started to slow down in the last few weeks. I went to Birmingham to meet up with Xanthi for the weekend. Hi Xanthi, if you're watching this. Also, a quick thing that I'd like to point out, I know not many of you are probably watching this at this point, but for Kindergeist podcast, sadly, who co-host Zakia had to step down. I did an episode with them, and they're looking for a new co-host. So if you are interested, if you like horror movies, and if you'd like to be on a podcast, please contact Xanthi. Her Instagram is, I never get her last name right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to Google this. 3 kids. Xanthi Pahario, I think that's how you pronounce it. So XANTHEPAJARILLO on her Instagram, and I'm pretty sure it's the same on other platforms as well. So there you are. But yeah, so yeah, and it started to really slow down. So that weekend, that weekend. What the arrangement was is I was going to stay in a hotel near Cardiff Airport the night before on the Friday night. On the Saturday, we were going to fly out to Amsterdam Schiphol and then to Nantes, and then the Sunday we were going to do the reverse. But that never ended up happening. I did go, but yeah, this is going to be a very long portion of the video. So at 9 o'clock at night, my grandfather felt like a little buzzing on his phone because his phone was on his pillow. So he looked up, his grandmother was calling, and she phoned to say, "Your flight has been cancelled." Like KLM had messaged a few hours before and said your flight is cancelled. I think it was something to do with Amsterdam Schiphol, because on the way back the flight to Schiphol was also cancelled. So I think it might have been something with the airport. So yeah, we were frantically for the next, what was it, 2 hours at least. We were frantically looking for a flight alternative, and finally we found a Ryanair flight from Stansted directly to Nantes. So yeah, we found that, and yeah, it genuinely, I almost had a panic attack about 3 different occasions, if not more. I was genuinely, literally ready to cry. I was ready to just say, "Fine, let's go home. Ugh, it's not your fault, and I was literally like devastated. But yeah, you know, so yeah, and But yeah, we found the alternative, and what happened is my grandmother had to drive me from our hotel to like this service station in Cardiff where we met my stepfather, Hero, at literally like 2:30 in the morning. He drove us all the way to London. They said, "Oh, get some sleep," but I really didn't sleep very well. Um, my grandfather couldn't sleep because they had to talk to keep him awake. You know, yeah, they had to keep him awake for like 3.5 hours because it was 2 o'clock in the morning. We arrived in Stansted about 6 o'clock. So what they do these days is you're supposed to check in to your flight booking, whatever, toward online these days, and you're supposed to do it up to 2 hours before. So when we got there, it was literally, I think it was 6:05 when we got to there, so we were 5 minutes too late. So we did get on the flight, but they fined us about £200, I think. It was a lot of money, so I'm eternally grateful that I managed to go. So yeah, and we got on the flight. We had like about half an hour to spare, so because we left our toiletries in the hotel, we got them back, but still we left them in there. We had to grab toothbrushes and deodorants and whatever. Um, yeah, so there was that, and yeah, we got onto the plane. Um, the thing is with Ryanair, the baseline flight ticket is extremely cheap, especially compared to other flights. They love to say low fares, but that's if you want to sit under the under the chairs in the most awkward position ever with access to air only once every 2 minutes. Uh, uh, like you have to pay for like everything, and it's always like absurd prices. Flight attendants were alright. We were sitting next to this woman. She was nice. We didn't really talk to her. I got about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour sleep. Um, the wait times weren't that much. I was absolutely knackered. But yeah, we arrived in Nantes Airport. Nantes Airport is okay. It's really not that much. A couple shops here and there. So what we did was we found a bus to get us to the hotel. We also checked out the arena. The arena, I can't lie, is a concrete jungle. Literally, it is just like concrete. It's not the best looking. But yeah, we found our hotel. Our hotel was okay because we got there really early. We had to wait in the lobby for, what was it, about 2 hours. Yeah, and yeah, the hotel room was fine. It was small, wasn't much. Uh, just like a bed and a bathroom, and that was it. We had KFC for lunch slash breakfast. Yeah, and it was nice. We we spent the afternoon. I think we both just had like a nap. Well, we had a little walk around the area to have a look, and that was it really. And yeah, so yeah. And then the time came, 8 o'clock. The thing started. I think it was, might have been 7. I can't remember. So we walked up to the thing. We were one of the first there. So we queued up. They checked our tickets, and it was fine. So there we are. That was we were in. So we had dinner. It was just like a sandwich or something. It was nice. It was whatever. So we walked in. So on the on the screen, because it's like this like it's like these thin like strips of like curtain, so that you can see both her and what they're projecting on the screen. It's quite clever. But on the screen there was just the Fosora logo. I'll pull it up in a minute. In the background there's these like bird sounds and soundscapes from like all across the album. So what I would do is, while we were waiting, I would play this game where I would where they would play the bird sound and I'd try and guess what song it was from. Like they had that sound from The Gate, they had the hissing noises from Body Memory, the stuff from Saint, and like Arise of My Senses, and yeah, so it was like this on the screen. I'll pull up a picture on my phone because I very well documented this, including screening the entire the entire song of Loss and the entire run of Courtship into Pink and Poetry. So because they were the most, because that was what I wanted. Because of course, I was excited for the rest of the set, but it was the main attraction. It's what I wanted to see. Because you may not know this, but Loss is my favourite song of all time, and my favourite Björk song. 1 second. It's one of my top songs on the album. It also Pagan Poetries is like my number 4 on the list, because like number 1 is Lost, number 2 is Family, then Black Lake, Pagan Poetry, All Is Full of Love, Howie's version, and then like Yoga, and then the rest is unknown. Talking about unknown, I took a picture of myself in front of the screen. Beware, it is a massive mug of me. But apparently I'm giving the unknown in the picture. Yeah. If you know, you know. Like, this picture of me, apparently I'm giving the unknown. You can't really see it clearly, but, apparently I'm giving unknown. I'm wearing my bootleg Post t-shirt that I still have. I bought a Cornucopia shirt, which I had to give to my mum, and she gave it to me for Christmas. I wear that like religiously. It is like my favorite t-shirt. I love it. But it's currently at my dad's at the moment. But you can Google it up. I think it's just like the Cornucopia tour poster on the t-shirt. It just says Cornucopia on the top and Björk on the bottom in like illegible letters. So yeah, what happens is bird sounds and soundscapes play, and then she starts playing the back half of Family, with the Volnicura VR, things. So here, like bird sounds like that. I was probably the biggest fan in the stadium. Um, I think in Europe she's not like popular. She's not like popular, but she's what I got the sense of is she's a very well respected singer and musician, and a lot of people came to see her because they weren't big fans, but they were very interested. Like, the people next to me didn't know any of the words to any of the songs. I knew them all because I am the best. So yeah, and then yeah, they just start playing Family. So the bit where it's like the ambient drone bit. And then the Volnicura VR visuals, which are Gorgina. You can't see them, but it's like, the Volnicura Deluxe cover? It's like that walking with like yellow background in like a purple landscape, because even though the artwork was all white and yellow, purple is sort of like a third color, because she said the lavender wax or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was it. Um, but yeah, so it was actually I'm pretty sure it was almost sold out, if not sold out show. The capacity was like 9,500. It was like a proper like music arena thingy, not like a stadium or anything. And um, yeah, I think I looked very close to the date of like tickets and stuff, and I think the only seats that were remaining were like some of the like restricted viewing seats on the side. We were like, I think it was like second tier stuff. The tickets were quite expensive, but we were off to the side quite a bit. So often when she was on the to our right, but her left, we couldn't see her. But a lot of the time she was on the front of the stage. So yeah, and then it goes straight into the gate with like the and like you can't really see it very well, but she's right there. Like, but yeah, it was like some of the music video visuals, and it starts from the like boom, boom, boom bit. Yeah, and then what was after that? What I want to say it was a rise in my senses. Um, I want to say it was because I got some pictures from some visuals, and I think it might have been a rise in my senses, but I feel like it might have been a Fasora song because it looks like Fasora visuals. Um, yeah. But the visuals and stuff, it wasn't like it was very much like a projections show. Like they took me to a Pink Floyd tribute concert for my birthday. This was like an early Christmas present. They took me to a Pink Floyd tribute concert that was very much like a light show. Um, but this was very much like projections. Uh, I don't want Brant Bjork. I want Brant Bjork. Uh, was a DJ set. Yeah, so yeah, no, it was Utopia, but because I don't really care for the song, I didn't record any videos. I just recorded some photos because she has like it's sort of like backup dancers, but it's a flute septet. I'm pretty sure they also make up the flute sections of orchestral. Uh, but yeah, they were good. Vibra, they're called. And then there was a percussionist that came on for I think Blissing Me, and then there was a harpist as well. Um, and then there was a rise in my senses. The thing is, right, my grandfather is he has many great things. One of them is not that he is very hard to please. We were talking about the Björk concert when I was staying with him last week. Well, this week, right, and he said that she wasn't a very good dancer because, to be fair, the only dance move that she did is like this weird like hip thrust thing, and it was like really weird. It was really funny, which is kind of funny because I said Björk fans when Björk just does this. I'll say manche, and I was kind of right because she does that in A Rise of My Senses, but I can't lie, she ate. So, like, she was a very professional performer. And then next up was Ovule. Yeah, professional performer. She didn't take much time to speak to people. The only thing she spoke in French was merci and merci beaucoup. There was an environmental message while a shortened version of Arpeggio was playing. And which was like a Japanese bonus track, the album, and there was well, yeah, and she gave all the band introductions in English. That's like the only time that she spoke to us, and she said, "Oh, thank you for being such an amazing crowd." And then she played "Not Get." I'll get into that later. Uh, I'll get into that later. Yeah, and then it goes into Ovule, which was quite a nice performance. It was kind of like an enhanced version of the music video in the background. It was amazing. I really loved it. It was so good. The outfit that she wore, for the main show was like, in the Utopia music video when she's wearing this kind of dress, it was like that, but it was a little bit different. Um, I can't lie, the only gripe with it was that the outfits were a bit. All the other shows got amazing outfits. Like, um, I can't lie, she did a show in Leipzig, not too long previously, and she dressed up like a leg of a table, but I can't lie, she ate. For our shows, it was kind of like. The main show dress wasn't that good, I don't think, and then the encore literally looked like she wore a glue dress and rolled around in a rubbish dump. It literally looked like she was wearing rubbish. Yeah. What song is that? Oh yeah. Then she did "Show Me Forgiveness," which is a song from Medulla. It's just a cappella song. It's literally nothing. It's just her singing. And then it's a prelude to "Venus as a Boy." Because yeah, the one thing about this show is it's not a show for locals. She doesn't play any of the hits, and if she does, she reworks them quite a lot. The only exception to this maybe is Isobel, and even then she alters that quite a bit. Um, she leaves the Volnicura, Utopia, and Fosora songs alone, and "Show Me Forgiveness," but like that's all a cappella anyways. Um, well, Medulla's all a cappella, but as in like it's just her. And I thought "Show Me Forgiveness" was okay, but I feel like it was. I don't think there was any point where it started to sag. I think the show was very concise. It said what it needed to say, but I think maybe "Show Me Forgiveness" could have been cut to make way for another song. Maybe, "A Moment of Fagor Fierdum" would have been cute, because she toured this tour since 2019. It was supposed to be like mostly Utopia plus some other songs, because there was a Utopia tour, but it was extremely short. It wasn't much. And it was only in Europe. This was like worldwide, and you know, Cornucopia, as much as it was an amazing show, you have to admit that it is a shell of what it used to be. There are so many more songs. I wish she didn't cut Body Memory, because in the 2023 leg, she literally cut Body Memory a few nights before, and I wish she didn't, because I love Body Memory. It's probably in my top 10 Björk songs. That's probably number 7, if not number 6. I love Body Memory. And the setlist used to be a lot longer with so many more songs. Like "Mouth's Cradle" is another song that comes to mind. Yeah, so there's that. And I like the performance of "Venus as a Boy," but again, I don't feel that it was entirely necessary. I don't know. I feel like maybe she could have done another one of the earlier hits. Like, I would be down for like I wouldn't be opposed to a hyper ballad moment. I wouldn't be opposed to a possibly maybe moment. Possibly maybe on flutes would actually hit so hard. Also, maybe some of the the mid-career albums don't really get any representation, all they get is Venus as a boy, and that's it. Maybe a Volta moment or another Medulla moment would have been cute. Or even if, well, Vespertina's picking poetry. Or even like a biophilia song, that would have been cool. But yeah, yeah. And then next was Claim Staker. The visuals for this song was amazing. It was like a collection of roots, and it would like zoom out, and it was amazing. I love Claim Staker. It used to be like a song that I slept on a lot, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites from Utopia, because Utopia has some big competition. I feel like the run from Body Memory to Tabula Rasa is perfect. Maybe even Claim Staker is perfect. Paradisia is like kind of unneeded, and then like Utopia is like. If Utopia and Paradisia were taken off, I would say it's a perfect album, and it would probably overtake Homogenic as my number 2 spot. But with those in, yeah, Claim Staker was an amazing performance, and then Isobel. There was like this. I can't lie, it's a bit cacophonous. But I like the flute arrangement that she did it, and I like her vocal delivery because, the original version was recorded in 1995. And of course, over the years, as you do when you get older, she has lost a bit of her vocal register, but she's definitely gained a lot more vocal control. She's 100% a better singer than she was in 1995. And she definitely delivers this song with her lower register. Venus as a boy, she definitely delivered with her higher register. It's definitely not as high as the original song, but I really like the vocal delivery. And the flutes of this song is amazing. I think it's just as good, if not better, than the original Isobel. Yeah. Blissing Me. This in hindsight is 100% like a highlight. It's I like Blissing Me as it is, but one thing that she added to the song was she had this percussionist on, and basically it was just like a bunch of bowls and a pool of water, and she would like it, and he would put like water in the bowls and pour them out, and it really gave like a certain atmosphere to the song, which I really, really liked. And it was Victimhood. Yeah. So I really liked that. Victimhood was a new addition that she added because, she released Fosora in the middle of the tour. So Ovule and a Topos were on the set list. But then, as the tour went on, she added Victimhood and a medley of Fosora and a Topos. I wish she gave Fosora and a Topos their separate moments because, the beat drop of Asura I think is better than a Topos, but I really love a Topos as well. I think they're both absolute amazing songs, but I feel like they should have been given their own moments. But yeah, he then did Victimhood. Victimhood was an amazing performance. In fact, the Victimhood music video was originally premiered in the show, in one of the shows in like Lisbon, I think, but I couldn't be bothered to look at tour footage, so I just waited until the music video dropped. I really like that music video. I think Victimhood was definitely a single worthy song. It's one of the more interesting songs that she's done, and I think it closes off the Valkyria Utopia narrative. She's more looking at it in the past tense because Utopia is her healing from the wounds that were caused in Volcura. And I think Victimhood was saying, yeah, I'm over this. So I really liked that, and the music video was it's really cool, and I quite like it. Then a Topos and Fosora. I originally thought that it was just for Sora until the beat drop, and then she just did the beat drop of a Topos, but she does the final chorus of a Topos, which I thought was really good. I think, yeah. I yeah, it's a really good moment. And then we went into features creatures. Just delete that. Features creatures I love. And my recording of features creatures is kind of funny because she says when I spot, but when she says it, she sounds like she's saying when I spoot. So like, sorry, guys. It sounds like she's saying spoot. Like it's really funny. Yeah, and like the performance is really cool. The background visuals aren't much, but Vibra, what they're doing is because they don't need to play anything. They've got like these like weird like luminescent things. It's giving like blank space aerosol performance, and they're spinning them over their heads, and it's like a really interesting performance. Not one of the best moments from the tour, but pretty cool. Ship, of course. What she does is on the album version, there's like a little down tempo moment. The music stops, and then soon it starts again with like a build up to loss, which I think is amazing if you're listening to the album. But the thing is if you are, I made like a playlist of all the songs on the set list, so I knew all my words and stuff and whatever. Um, I wish, not I wish, when I would go into Lost into pagan poetry, it was like a really startling jump because it would just be like building up to Lost, and then it would just like jump you with the harp intro, and it was like, but what she does in the video for Lost, and she does it in the concert because the Lost music video was actually tour visuals. Same with the Tabula Rasa music video, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so the what she does is she takes off the Loss intro, puts it at the start of Loss, and then she goes straight into pagan poetry. What she does with pagan poetry is she actually moves it around quite a bit. The flutes aren't in there; it's just the harp. And what she does is she starts with the outro. She does the I love him, I love him, I love him bit, and then it ends, and then she does the rest of the song, and then she goes into Loss. So yeah, me to the good stuff, girl. I love this performance of pagan poetry. She was really good. And then she goes into Loss. Yeah, I love this. And in the intro how there's like a bunch of flute. I think Vibra were just told do what you want. As long as it kind of sounds like this, just do whatever the hell you want. And you can tell that they were definitely having fun with it. Uh, ooh, that's not in the original. And then it goes straight into Sue Me. Sue Me, I thought was an amazing performance. Apparently, I didn't really notice it, but apparently she gets really, really like sassy with it, as she should, because Sue Me is like the closest that she gets to like a really sassy song. Like, sue me all you want, I will not denounce her origin. No, I won't, girl. No, I won't. If you try, you're gonna fail. Don't you try, Matthew Fartney. Yes, that's what we call him. But yeah, I really liked this performance, and I took this picture of her, and I think that's absolutely gorgina. I love it. The yellow lights was like really cool as well. And I think the performance of this was extremely good as well. And then she goes into tabula rasa. So then she does the sue me into tabula rasa, and then that's the end, I think. Um, I think I really like tabula rasa as a tour closer, excluding the encore, because it's um, it's a really sort of cathartic song, and it really has an ending. I um, I love this song, and I think it's a really chilled, laid back song, but also really powerful. Um, I just love Tabula Rasa. Do you know what? I think that might be in my top 10 as well. Tabula Rasa, I love it. Ooh, ooh. And then she goes off, and then she does the change into the encore outfit. So then there is, while she's doing it, there is a little gap, and then there are two little bits. There is an environmentalist speech by Greta Thunberg. Uh, I'm pretty sure this video is. I'm pretty sure that video is like 3 years old. I thought it was okay. I like the message of it. But yeah, and then there was Mycelia, which he played from tape. I recorded the entirety of that. The tour visuals were actually like really cool. I like it. I prefer the visuals on Björk's website that was on there. I think that was even cooler. And then you can't really see it very clearly, but literally it looks like she rolled around in rubbish. Look on her Instagram and look at the non-post. I'm really not a fan of this outfit, and I'm kind of mad that all the other outfits got massive slays, and we got like an absolute flop of an outfit. Yeah. So and then she does Future Forever. I love this with the choir vocals. Future Forever is another song that has massively grown on me. It's probably in my top 5 for Utopia. I think this is one of the. Björk isn't necessarily doesn't necessarily have a track record for closers. The anchor song isn't really a closer. Headphones, I guess you could say, kind of is, but it's sort of almost like a quiet fading out rather than a proper finale. All Is Full of Love is like a quiet fading out, but it does way better of a job than Headphones. I love it. It's like low IQ brain. I prefer Howie's version. Middle IQ brain. They're both the same. High IQ brain. Um, I prefer Howie's version. It's the only correct answer. Unison, I think, is an ending. Triumph of a Heart, no. Um, Volta, I mean, it's an album that I never really listened to, so I don't really have the qualified opinion. And I think My Juvenile is also like a quiet sending out, and like, I can't lie, in my opinion, My Juvenile is a massive flop. So, there you are. and yeah, there you are. And then Biophilia Solstice again is a quiet sending off, but again, I feel like Cosmogony would have been such more of a better ending. It really has that sense of triumph and finale. I feel like it should be the song at the end of a movie. Volnicura Quicksand is a perfect closer. Future Forever, perfect closer. Her Mother's House, near perfect closer. So I feel like Quicksand and Future Forever are like battling it out to be the best closer. And I like it. So yeah, she does a band introduction. That's how I know all their names. Oh yeah, and the percussionist is back to play glockenspiel. My friend, I can't say her channel's name because of reasons, but I will link her down below if I can remember to. Uh, she made like a studio arrangement of the cornucopia arrangement of this song. It's great. Check it out. I will leave a link in the description. Um, but yeah, then she does not get. And excuse me, at the end of the band introductions, what she does is she says, before she plays Not Get, now we're going to play one final song, and if you feel like dancing, don't hold back. And I was thinking, why would you dance to Not Get? It's depressing. Like, it's depressing. Like, if you listen to the lyrics, it's like depressing, yes. But like, Not Get was a song that I like never listened to because I never really got into it. But yeah, it's a song that has massively, massively grown on me, and it's one of my favorites from Valnicura. Probably number three. And like listening to it, it is a bop. Like if they put this on in a club, I would be dancing my butt off to this. I would literally be like, I would forget who I am, and I would just be dancing and dancing and dancing. So yeah, it was an amazing concert. So concert 9.9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, I think. There are definitely things that I would prefer, like for instance, get rid of like Show Me Forgiveness and maybe Venus as a Boy and replace it with either one of the earlier hits or Saint. I would have loved a Saint moment. I love Saint. It's also kind of funny how it's kind of similar to the When Did It End? Although Enjoyment song thingy. Yeah. Sorry, I had 700 billion voice cracks there. Sorry, you know. Oh well. And, you know, or one of the early hits, you know, kept Body Memory in, given, you know, Topos and Fasora different moments. Like, it's not like the Eras tour where, you know, if you want to add stuff, you would have to shorten and cut songs. Like, it can do with a bit more. It's like, I think it was like a 2 hour show, I think, overall. It wasn't all that long. You know, an extra 15 minutes wouldn't do any damage. So, you know, there you are. And, yeah, so on the way back, so I forgot to mention this, but this was before the concert, about like 3 o'clock, just after we'd gotten into our room, the flight back had been cancelled. So my grandfather found two tickets to an EasyJet flight from Nantes to Gatwick Airport in London. And then we had to get a coach back, one from Gatwick to Heathrow and then another from Heathrow to Swansea, and then my grandmother would pick us up and I'd on stay theirs at that night and then miss a day of school. um, yeah, so yeah, I missed a day of school. That was like amazing, Gorgina. Um, but yeah, so yeah, but to be fair, that journey back was tiring. Um, the because it stopped off at quite a few places. There were quite a lot of people on that bus. Most of them got off at the first stop at what you call it, Bristol. And my legs were getting stiff, and you know what? So what I did was, I just laid across on my aisle. Uh, so yeah, and I listened to music. I managed to crank out the entire album of Speak Now Taylor's version. I'm pretty sure I listened to Midnight's the entirety again. Uh, I I listened to Fasora. I listened to um the Elias EP, Shy Girl, and yeah, then I might have listened to something else or something, I don't know. And then, that was it. We got home and I've never slept better. So yeah, I woke up at like 9 o'clock, had breakfast, went home, spent the day at home, and yeah, did that. Uh, but yeah, the journey back was tiring as well. The flight back was okay. Do you know what it was like? Because we were worrying, that we might have to like literally like rush it over to the other side if we were arriving in a different terminal if it was on time. But luckily, we actually arrived a considerable amount early, so we actually had quite a lot of time to spare. Well, oh yeah, and on the Sunday morning, we that literally nowhere else was open, so we had a McDonald's breakfast. And I saw this thing on the menu, and the whole thing about curiosity killing the cat. Uh, I I had this thing called a choco nuts, which the best thing to describe it is a chocolate burger. It's like a disc of chocolate and like a caramel sauce with a bunch of hazelnuts. It was really messy. It was whatever, to be honest. I couldn't care less. Like it was, yeah, okay. You know what? Yeah, and yeah. So that was great. Um, Brain farted now. Um, we were. It took us a little bit to get out of the plane because, bless her, there was like this disabled woman sitting in the window seat, in the aisle seat. Usually, because she has to have help and aid and whatever, she usually sits in the window seat so she doesn't get in the way. So it wasn't her fault, whatever. Um, but yeah, the flight was okay. Nantes Airport, surprisingly disappointing. I know it's like not a big like airport, but still, like there wasn't really much facilities. There was in the actual like down below thing. There was like this shop that there were a few locations about in Nantes. There was a kind of big one in the um yeah, whatchamacallit, um in the pre like baggage things. We fixed an error because it said that like we were both adults when I needed a child ticket. We amended it, whatever. Unlike Ryan no fare or Ryan extra fare, they didn't charge us for it. And unlike KLM, they didn't cancel our flight. You. Um, Really, all there was a pret-a-manger. If you've been to London, you'll be sick of them because I think there's What? Let me Google this now, because it's like some sort of ridiculous figure. Um, yeah, but like, any Pret. Yeah, so so Pret a Manger, commonly referred to as Pret, has 434 shops in the UK. And guess how many are in London? You guessed 273, you would be correct. Yeah, there's tons, tons. It might be slightly less than that, but still, there's like so many. I bought a sandwich there. There was, there was just some common seating area. That shop that was in the airport, there's a smaller version post baggage. There was a pub that was closed. Really wasn't much. Um, so yeah, whatever. And also something else that was disappointingly small: the merch shop at the Puke at the concert, because you know how they sell merch. I bought the T-shirt, but there really wasn't that much. There was, I think, a debut vinyl, a Utopia vinyl, a Vespertine vinyl, and a Fosora vinyl. There was the Cornucopia T-shirt in pink and white. There was another T-shirt that I wasn't really interested in, and there was a Cornucopia tote bag, I think it was, and I think there might have been a couple other stuff, but there really wasn't much, because like there's this band that my grandfather went to see in Pontadawe, uh, and you know, even then, that's not even a big location, but they had copies of all of their albums. So yeah, to be honest, it was a bit disappointing. I got what I wanted though, so yeah, but you know, and apparently her merch site is, there's a lot of stuff on there, but apparently it's really bad. Um, yeah, apparently it's really not good for delivering stuff. So yeah, yeah, but yeah, anyways, uh, buying for Sora box set. I would if I had 200 quid to spare. I would. Because I want that so bad, but it's like so expensive. But it has so many good things in it. Um, I'm acting like I don't have the money for it. Like I didn't spend 100 quid on TTPD, which is coming in 18 days and a bit. So excited. Like to think it was 75 days ago. Like when she announced it, and it's like 18. Anyways, off topic. Get on topic. And yeah, I talked about nothing but that for like the next 750 weeks. Um, I had this like kind of like, not like friend, but somebody I'd message kind of regularly on Instagram, who sadly didn't get to go to Cornucopia. Um, but and she told me to send all the videos I had, so I did. And yeah, so there you are. And yeah, it was a really good show and something I don't regret. This is not like a dig or anything, but if I had the choice to go to, yeah, sadly Orchestral had already finished by then, but if I had the choice to go to either Cornucopia or Orchestral, I definitely would have chosen to go to Orchestral. Um, Final show of Orchestral was at Coachella, and I was a Björk fan, but yeah, and yeah, So, yeah, but Cornucopia was an amazing show, and I think that I should end this right about now, because, yeah, um, that it's an experience that I will forever have in my memory, and it's one of the best experiences of my life, if not the best. Uh, and, I think it was just an amazing experience. And yeah, so, you know, yeah, so that's it from me today. No, I won't make another video today. Uh, but yeah, uh, so yeah, I shall see you again. Bye.